Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. Welcome to my channel. My name is Maaike and today I'm going to be doing the part-time YouTuber tag for you because this channel is not a career for me. I'm doing something completely different, and Monica AP is the person who created this tag. So thank you, Monica, for creating this. I saw some other people doing this tag over the past couple of months, and there were a couple of tags that came up that I started doing earlier, but this is one that I still wanted to do very badly. So that's why I am doing that for you today. If there is a tag that you know of that you think I haven't done yet, then leave your suggestions in a comment down below because I'm sort of out of the loop when it comes to tags most of the times. So if there's one that you know that's going around like right now that you would like to see me do, then let me know. But this month's tag is going to be the part-time YouTuber tag. And the reason why I wanted to do it is because I think that as a viewer, you see, of course, a lot of channels coming by, and you know, some people are doing this as a hobby, some people are doing this as a career. So I think it's good that we have this tag so that we can talk about it if we are not doing this as a career, you could say. So since I don't want to already talk too much and then give away answers to questions, let's just get to the questions straight away. Question number one, what is your main gig? Do you work full-time? Are you a student, a parent? Spill the beans. I am a full-time English teacher. There you have it. I work in higher education though, so when you think English teacher, maybe you think grammar rules and, I don't know, Shakespeare. That's not what I do. I teach management and communication skills in English. I teach people how to write better. I teach people how to do good presentations, those kind of things. So it's a bit more practical, you could say. And on top of that, as my teaching gig, there are other roles within the organization that I fulfill. So that's sort of part of the game. If you're a teacher, you're never just a teacher. At least here in the Netherlands, you're usually a lot more than just that. So yeah, my main job, what I do 5 times a week, is teach English. That's sort of like the bulk of what I do. I didn't used to work full-time. Up until last summer, I was actually always working part-time, which was also one of the things that helped me to, you know, maintain a blog and a YouTube channel for a long time. And this year we were just gonna have so many extra hours. And I was like, well, you know, I wouldn't mind working more if you'd like. And so far things have been going well. I'm still able to maintain all of my my job as well as the content that I would want to put live. So I've already had a system where I film mainly in the weekends and created content then, and then, you know, at night when I'm home, that's when I write my blog posts and when I edit my videos and stuff like that. So it really didn't change anything. So it's not as if I needed that day to do blog posts and stuff like that. It just does mean that because I work full-time, there are a lot of things that if I were to do this full-time, I would have so many more options when it comes to filming reviews ASAP and all that. By the time I can do something, I need to plan that very carefully because I only pretty much have Sundays to film. That's my filming day. And if I happen to have a very busy weekend and I can't film that weekend, I need to film 2 weeks in advance. So for me, that's just a little bit different than perhaps most people. So that's also why that influences the kind of content I can do, I'm sure. Yeah. What made you want to start YouTube? That would be question number 2. Well, actually, I started YouTube because of my blog. So I started a blog in September 2010, and that's where I do mainly product reviews by now. I just was bored one night and I missed writing, and so I wanted to write, and that's why I started a blog. But as time progressed, more and more people started doing YouTube, and that was where everything was at. So I sort of started making YouTube videos because I very quickly realized that some things work as a blog post, but some things don't work very well that way, and that it would be better to film those. So I started this channel in 2014, I think. So I've already had this channel for 6 years, but I hadn't really been posting very regularly at the start. I haven't really been doing 3 videos a week until a year ago. That's when I sort of scaled it up. So I think 2014 I did the occasional video. like maybe once every 2 or 3 months or something like that. And then I think I committed to like 1 video a week in like, I think 2018 and then, or 2017, I think. And then in 2018, I started doing 2. And then in 2019, I started doing 3. And that was really when I started seeing my channel grow. And that's sort of what I feel like in order to do YouTube well, you kind of need to do at least 3 videos a week, it seems. So yeah, what made me want to start YouTube? My blog. And what made me want to start my blog? The fact that I wanted to write and that I wanted to have a space where I could talk about things that not many people in my real life want to talk about. So I don't have many people in my personal circle who care about makeup or who care about fashion all that much. So it's something that I then just wanted to talk about myself with people I don't know. It's just, you know, that's sort of how it all came to be. Number 3, what is your channel about? Do you stick to one niche or do you cover a few? I definitely at first really tried to do everything that I also did on my blog. My blog has never really been just about makeup, or at least it hadn't been for a long time. But in the past year, I've really noticed that if you try to do too many different things, people don't know what you have to offer. So it's better to do a niche sort of thing on YouTube. So I've been mainly now focusing on beauty content and not necessarily reviews. I do reviews, but I try to do them in a different way because I'm not focusing on getting the latest of the greatest and the newest of the new stuff. That's not what I'm about. That's not what this channel is about. So I find that then a review needs to be done in a different way. So I like doing a review where I compare to foundations or primers, or like if I've tried eyeshadow palettes, I tend to loop them, like group them together into little pockets of 10 and then do a review because I just think it's a bit more valuable that way. Because I'm never going to be the first person out there with the newest release to talk about it. So I do reviews, but it's not the bulk of my content. I just come on here to chat about makeup. That's pretty much what this channel is all about. And because I felt that I also wanted to still talk about books, but nobody on this channel was really watching any of my book videos when I was still doing them. I was trying to do one of them a month. So I decided that if I wanted to do it, I had to do it properly. So I started myself a booktube channel last January. So if you're wondering and you want to hear my opinions on books that I read, then check out Floating in Books. So I sort of thought of Floating in Dreams, main channel, Floating in Books. And why Floating in Dreams? Because it's the name of my blog, and I don't even know anymore where that came from because it's been almost a decade. So I don't even remember where I pulled that one from. Question number 4. Did you always know YouTube would be a side gig, or do you ever want to be a full-time YouTuber? That would be a definite no. I do not hold full-time YouTube in the cards for myself, mainly because it would probably bore me to tears. I mean, I already told you I work a full-time job, right? And that full-time job can be quite challenging and taxing. I mean, it's teaching. I mean, if you know teachers, or if you know about teachers, then you know it can be quite a stressful, intense job. So for me, this is an escape. And it does cost a lot of time. I had a colleague once ask me, and I sort of started doing the math, and I was like, well, including all the filming, taking pictures, keeping track of makeup reviews, and responding to comments and everything that comes with it, it takes me about 20 hours a week. So that would be like half a full-time job. And they were like, wow, really? And for some reason, this is something I can still do on the side. So if I were to do this full-time, there would be no challenge in it for me. Like, it would not be, let's just say, very stimulating to my brain cells. I need something to keep me going. And for me, that just means that I need some meat in what I do in a day-to-day basis, because if it's too easy, then I get bored very easily. So I think that one of the reasons why I don't see YouTube as a full-time thing for myself is because it's too easy. It's not like, it's makeup, it's lipstick, it's not rocket science. And I'm sure that if I were to really sort of go the Jen Loves Reviews route, who's really keen on checking out ingredient lists and all that, Perhaps if I were to do it full time, those kind of things, like this like investigative kind of aspect of it, I would probably do it more. But I have to say that I'm currently also not very interested in that. So I think that makeup is just one of the many interests that I have, and that's sort of like the bane of my existence. I like all the things, and for me to try and focus on one thing and enjoy that, yeah, that's, and also get out of it what I want, and YouTube is just not it. It's a bit too, let's just say, superfluous for me. So it's sort of too much at the surface level. I like being able to go more in depth and really get stuck into a topic, and with makeup that's just harder to do. Question number 5, what is your schedule like? When do you film? When do you edit? Well, I already mentioned this a little bit. I work 5 times a week. I try to go to the gym. Well, of course, right now, since we're social distancing, that's not happening. But I try to go to the gym 2 or 3 times a week. I go to dance class once a week. I try to go to dance socials once or twice a week. That doesn't happen all in the same week, usually. If I'm very busy, then some of those things start to fall by the wayside. I have friends, I have family, I like going to concerts, and I blog on YouTube. So for me, what I tend to do is I get up in the morning, I go to work, and when I get home, I sit down, have dinner, and then once I've had dinner, somewhere between 7 and 8, I tend to write blog posts and edit videos as I'm like sort of watching something brainless on TV. And then usually around like 8-ish, it's time for me to either head to the gym or to dance class or social or whatever. So I sort of do everything at night, and then the actual content creation. So what I'm doing right now, the filming, I usually do over the weekends. So my Saturday and Sunday mornings, I usually spend filming. So that's sort of how it goes, and then I sort of edit and write everything the night before, which is a bit tricky because it means that if I get ill or if anything happens, I have no content ready to go live. I only tend to be able to really sort of get ahead of things when I travel, because I don't want this to then be a bare space and go like, oh, I think she's away. So whenever I travel, I try to have content ready to go, but I always find it very cumbersome to sort of make extra. And because I have such a busy lifestyle, I just, like, there's no way that I could film at night, or that I could, like, I'm just, at the end of the day, like, I now got myself a ring light, so I can film into the nightly hours if I'd want to, but I find that the lighting is very difficult to get right, and all that jazz, and for me, it's just not worth it. Like, I just, like, this is a hobby channel for me. I just want to be able to whip out my camera, sit down, talk to you guys about makeup. That's what I want to do. So yeah, my schedule is quite packed with stuff, depending on the week that we're in. But yeah, I tend to film and sort of take pictures of products for reviews during weekends, and if we have quite nice weather, so if it's like spring, summer, and there is enough light in the morning before I head out to work, that's when I tend to do like eye looks, and then I take pictures of it before I head out the door. That's how I've been doing that for years, which is why eyeshadow palette reviews can sometimes sort of like fall behind, because in the wintertime I just don't have the opportunity to really create that content, because there's just not enough daylight in the day to take good enough pictures, I find. So for me, there's very much a difference between summer and winter. And for instance, if I want to, like, I just recently filmed all of my declutters. I filmed those in a day during spring break. So I tend to also, whenever I want to do like bigger videos that I know are going to take more time, I tend to film those during either like holidays, or like when I have like a bigger chunk of time where I have time off, so that it doesn't take up my entire weekend. That's how I tend to do it. So easy sort of like run-of-the-mill kind of things I can do in between. And that's one of the reasons why I don't do a lot of fashion content, even though I want to, because fashion content takes hours to film, and you end up with a 5-minute video. It's super frustrating. So that's why I want to, but just putting all the outfits together and then putting everything on and getting all the angles, and then it's just so much work. You actually, like with fashion, I really feel it would be helpful if you have like another person who can help you with everything, but I don't have that. I would have to do everything by myself. So yeah, I still want to do some more styling videos, but I struggle finding the time to make that work. 6, how do you keep your YouTube channel organized? Do you plan videos ahead or just film what you feel like? I'm definitely a planner. I have my laptop right here. I don't think you can really tell, but what I have is I have some folders on my laptop, and this is sort of like my weekly schedule for the week I'm filming this. So I have my blog posts and my video ideas for this week at the top, and then I have all these folders where I keep all of the pictures and the content that I'm making. If I'm pre-filming stuff, my laptop's hard drive isn't big enough, so I store those on an external hard drive. If I have like for instance with the declutters, I film those in a day, but then I keep them around. I keep those files separately, but I do have a document called video and blog posts for April. So I plan my videos a month ahead. And I actually have another file on my computer where I brainstorm. Like if I have a video idea, I have like a little table where I have ideas for the next 2 months. So at this moment, I have all of my video ideas for May already, like that's already done. If I find something that I would like to do quicker, then I sort of move that back to June. And I'm currently sort of working on brainstorming stuff for June. So for me, I sort of keep everything in one spot. With blog posts, I just make sure I have the content ready to go, so I can just pick and choose. And then every week on Sunday, I first make like a little overview of like the 7 things that are going to be done that week. And I have sort of like a monthly overview of all of the videos I want to post. And for instance, that file I have open right now because that's where the tag questions for this tag are as well. So I have a little Word document where I have like a little diagram of these videos I want to put live then and then and then. And I tend to then know like, okay, on Sunday I need to film these 3 or 4 videos, or sometimes I'll film like 2 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday. And that's how I sort of manage to do that. So I definitely keep track of stuff. I plan ahead a lot, especially for things like get ready with me's or full faces of things. I need to make sure I also have the products that I want to feature in those videos. And very often I would also like to try things in advance. So that's sort of how that goes. But for instance, I thought that the new Catrice products would be out already at the end of January, and then they weren't there yet. So I had to sort of then you have to, you know, push around your scheduling a little bit, because that's sort of like time sensitive. But I tend to have very few very time sensitive things that like need to go live now. But yeah, I have everything already planned, well almost 2 months ahead. That's so also if people give me video ideas, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Then I always have to tell them like, it might be a while. So for instance, shoe collection video, I think I asked in already like end of 2019 whether people wanted to see it, and I didn't get around to filming it until March. It's just, that's sort of how it goes then, because I then have so many other things that I want to do. Question number 7. How do you feel about sponsored videos on YouTube? Have you or would you ever do one on your channel? I don't mind sponsored videos per se, as long as the sponsorship goes with the rest of the video. I find it very odd that, you know, someone will talk about, ooh, favorite products, and then, oh, but I have to mention these glasses that I'm wearing because, and then I'm like, oh, just don't do it like that. I always feel like, you know, for me, that doesn't really work. So if I were to do any sort of sponsorship ever, if I ever get the opportunity, it would have to fit seamlessly with video ideas I already have, which, as you know, I plan 2 months ahead. So if I don't see any opportunity for myself to really seamlessly fit it within my content, I would never do it. I feel the same way about PR, actually. If I'm not interested in the brand, if I don't feel it's a right fit for my channel, I don't do it. I get so many emails about detox teas and we can help improve your website and like all these weird things, or be part of this affiliate program. And I'm like, why would I? Why would I? And very often if you read the fine print and they even want to create the content for you, And very often they don't even get my name right. So then I'm like, if you don't even know that, then maybe you shouldn't have written to me in the first place. So yeah, I tend to ignore most of the emails that come into my like YouTube blog email address, because 9 out of 10 times, like 90% of what I get is just absolute trash. So that's something that I 9 out of 10, like I don't even take the time to reply to everyone, because it's just, I just know, like, it's just a no all the time. So that's why sponsor content, that's an opportunity like that has not yet come my way. I also receive very little PR. I'm not someone who actively seeks out PR either, because I like to have that control of what is featured on here, trying the things that I want to try, not because they are hyped up, not because a brand needs them to be marketed to the masses, but just because I like makeup, and because I like talking about makeup, and because I like connecting with you guys. And I feel that very often PR and sponsorships can get in the way of the sort of the spirit of what you're trying to put out there. And that's what I would very much like to avoid, if at all possible. Question number 8, what do you think is the biggest challenge of doing YouTube part-time? Keeping track of everything. I definitely think that, you know, if I watch quite a few YouTubers who are also part-time YouTubers, and I'm like, how on earth do you know about all of these makeup releases? Like, I like miss half of the drama and everything that's going on because I'm just not on Instagram all day. Like, I have working days where I need my phone to get into my work systems for like a verification code, and I check my phone to get the code, and then I'm like teaching and doing stuff all day, and I do not check my phone again until I'm in the train home. So my phone time and like my social media time is so limited, and that's the one thing I think my channel and my blog could do better if I could be more active on things like Twitter and Instagram. But for me, it's just like I keep having this idea of like, yeah, I should promote my blog posts and my videos through Instagram. I should have like a picture that I can just always post on there for every blog post I do. And I'm like, I always forget it. I go through a phase where I'm like, oh yeah, this should go onto Instagram, and then I can put the link there and I can really use it to promote stuff. And then it doesn't happen. So that's just that one sort of extra step. That's something that within my schedule, it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't. So I would like to be able to do more of that, but that is something I feel I can only start doing if I had more time. Then this whole gig would have to go so well that it would lead me to be able to work a day less a week, and it currently doesn't. Like, the amount of money I made through Google AdSense last year, it's laughable. It's laughable. So that's why that is not going to happen anytime soon. And I actually, now that I'm sort of talking about this, I realize I forgot to say something for question 7. So how I feel about sponsor videos and sort of why I don't want to get PR and sponsorships, because I have a full-time job. I mean, I already make money in another way. And actually, if I were to make a ton of money through this, I would have to pay extra taxes over my other job. So for me, it's just not really smart to try and really make this a thing as well. So if I get too many sponsorships or PR stuff, then I would have to start counting it as an income. And that would not be something that I would want to do. So I make enough money to buy the things that I want to buy and do the things I want to do, and I give myself a budget and I try to stick to that every month, and that's how I try to not overspend and go too crazy, and I sort of pick and choose a few things that I get every month. Again, I have an entire video about that. So the fact that I have a good job that makes me the money that I need to live my life means that I also don't really need the PR and the sponsorship, and that makes me very privileged. I'm very well aware of that, and especially in this time where I know a lot of people have lost jobs or are not necessarily laid off, but sort of like everything is put on hold. Like, I'm pretty happy now like considering everything, that I chose to become a teacher, because apparently I have a vital profession, whatever that means. I've been working from home, which has been different and strange. But yeah, I'm lucky to have a job where I mean, teaching doesn't get you the most money in the world, of course, we all know that, but it's always been enough for me. And if you just live within your means, and for me, that also means that I don't need the sponsorships and the PR to buy product to talk about. And that means that I'm behind on the times. That means that I'm not the first person to review stuff, which would all help to have this channel grow so much faster. But I just like this being a hobby. I think that's now clear. Like, I like doing this as a hobby. I like chatting about makeup with you guys. I love hearing all of your suggestions all the time. And I think that that's what, for me, YouTube is also about. And if I can have, like, if my videos can bring to you what YouTube brings to me, which is just a fun place where people talk about makeup, then I'm happy. And then I would like to keep on doing this for a long time. But that means that sort of like the marketing and the business aspect of the whole YouTube thing, those are things I can't do because it would take up too much time, or it's just not a very clever decision for me money-wise. So that's sort of like the bonus that I would like to share with you here. So yeah, that was the tag. I think this was a really fun one to do. So I hope you also got to know a little bit more about me. A lot of new people have been joining this channel in the past couple of weeks. So I hope this was interesting for you. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more by me. I make new videos 3 times a week on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sundays. I hope to see you in my next video. Stay safe and stay healthy, all you lovely people. Bye.